Once upon a time,
Time.
in the land of the animals used to have a particular place they call their own. More like they have their own community. But something happened. There came a time in the land of the animals. There was what we call drought. Drought is a kind of period when there is scarcity and diseases everywhere. The animals were going down. What they planted in the field are not doing well. For there was hunger in the land. And the animals could not feed. They could not eat. They could not do anything. They could not even cultivate their farms because the farms were not producing anything. They have never experienced that in their lives before. And the elders had to do something because the people were crying to them. They have leaders that they call their elders. The elders said to themselves, we are going to do something. We are going to send messengers to go to the known seer we have in our land, to go and inquire from the seer why we are going through these rough times. They now appointed a few people to go and make inquiries from the seer. Those people went to the seer, and the seer, after consulting their gods, told them that they were going through those rough periods because their gods and their ancestors are not happy with them.
Oh, wow.
That they were angry with them, that somebody committed something, an atrocity in the land. And the only way out is for them to do some sacrifices and appease them so that things will start moving well for them. The messengers came back home and delivered their message to the elders. And the elders in turn told the town crier, go round our community and go and summon the people on a particular day to gather under our usual Iroko tree so that we can now deliberate the outcome of the meeting of the seers with the seer, the emissaries with the seer. The town crier went round and informed all the people to come and gather under their great Iroko tree on that particular day.
Wow.
On that fateful day, when they gathered, the elders stood up and said, you all know what we have been going through in this land of recent. We sent messengers to go and consult our great seer. And the seer told us that we need to make some sacrifices to appease our gods, that we offended them.
Hey.
All the animals said, what? What are we going to do? What does the sacrifice demand? And now, the elders now read out all the materials they are going to use for the sacrifice. And those things were too many.
Hey.
They were now deliberating, where do we get the money from to buy these items? Where do we source all these things from? Who can help us? As they were discussing and deliberating, they said, if anybody has any useful information or suggestion, you are free to stand up and talk. Meanwhile, hyena is a sworn enemy to the dog.
Hey.
Hyena does not see face to face with the dog. They have been enemies for years. Now, hyena thought within himself that this is a perfect opportunity for him now to deal with the dog. He said to himself that this is the only time he has to eliminate the dog forever. And he now stood up and said, I have a suggestion to make. That I am suggesting that we sell the dog.
Hey.
And use the proceeds to buy the materials we need for the sacrifice. All animals shouted, oh, why will you say this? Some are in support of him and some were against that particular thing he said. And after all the noise, the elders said everybody should calm down. That if there is another person that has any other suggestion to make, apart from what the hyena just said, that the person should stand up and make a point. And nobody stood up. And he said, okay, we are going to vote. Those in support of the suggestion of hyena should raise their hands up. And those that supported hyena raised their hands up and they counted. And those who are against were also counted. And unfortunately, those who supported hyena were more in number than those who were for the dog. And the majority carried the day. And the elders now said, since we have now gotten a solution partially, we are now mandating a few people that we are going to appoint as task force to go and look for the dog, arrest him wherever you see him, and sell him and bring the proceeds to us.
What? Like just like that.
But something happened. One of the animals, a bird, which I will call a bushfowl, she flew up and said, I am not in support of this idea. Whatever thing you people are doing today against the dog, I am not part and parcel of it. I am not party to any of this. Count me out of this decision.
Yes, so.
I am innocent of all this. I cannot have another person's innocent blood on my hands. And the other animals, I said, they just wave it off. And they went and looked for the dog. And they captured the dog, tied him, his hands and his legs, and sold him to a hunter.
Wow.
And after selling the dog, they brought the money and gave to the elders. And they used it in purchasing the items for the sacrifice. When the hunter took the dog back home, he now asked the dog, what should I do with you now? You are going to serve me for a meal of some days because I'm going to prepare you very well and use you for my stew and my soup.
No.
And the dog shouted, please, do not do that to me. I will be more useful to you alive than when I'm gone.
Thank you.
Highest, you eat me for the next few days and that is it. But if you keep me alive, I promise you, I will make your hunting game very, very prosperous. I will make you a successful hunter around this region. And the hunter said, how do you plan to help me? He said, you know, I am part of the animals. I know where my people stay. You go hunting every Wednesday, is it not true? The hunter said it is true. And on every Wednesday, we have where we used to hide from you so that you will not see us. I know that place. The hunter said, eh? Say, I know where my people sleep. I know where they wake up. I know where they go to farm. I know where they go to market. I know everything.
Of course.
Yes, so.
Permit me to leave and I will go with you. But what I'm going to tell you now, we are going to devise this particular plan. You are going to go through this corner of the bush while I will enter through the other end. And I know that any of my people that sees me will begin to run because they know they offended me. I am going to go with red eyes. And when I'm going, please tie around my waist, tie bells around my waist so that I'll be making noise as I'm jumping up and down. He said, okay, let's go. The hunter took the dog to the bush. And as the dog was entering into their territory and the bell was making noise announcing his entrance, all animals were shouting because his eyes were so red in anger.
Okay.
All animals were shouting and crying, it is the dog, oh, it is the dog, oh, he has come for revenge, oh. I told the people, no, we shouldn't have done this. That time, the bushfowl was flying and said, I told you people, do not sell the dog. And as the animals were running to escape from the dog, the hunter was busy using his gun to gun them down. At the end of the day, the animals that the hunter got that day were much more than his usual business. And that was how the animals scattered. They did not stay at a place again. They scattered all over the world. And that was also how the dog becomes man's best friend and the hunter's best friend.
Nice one.
Okay, this is the end of the story. Now, I'm going to ask us, what did you learn from this story?
I learned that don't do evil to another person because it may backfire to you.
Very, very good. Well said. Do not devise any evil against anybody because it may backfire. That may come back to you someday.
Don't condemn somebody.
Okay, do not condemn someone even before you hear their own part of the story. Is it what you want to say? Yes, because they should have allowed the dog.
I learned when you take decisions in hatred, it will find a way to come back to you, which is karma.
Yes, because there is something they call karma. It is real. There are certain things you would do to somebody, and those things you do will still find their way back to you. Now, in this story, we saw how the dog was innocent. He took permission from the meeting, and at the end of the day, a plan was hatched behind his back to sell him, which was not right. They didn't even hear him. They didn't even wait for him to come. They didn't even wait for him to say anything. They just decided to do that.
Like,
Please, everyone watching us, please like and share this video for you to see more of these videos and follow us for more. Thank you very much.